What's up creators? Anthony here, and you are watching the $1,000 budget tier for camera gear. In this video, we'll outline some of the smartest decisions you can make with your money to maximize the bang for your buck, so to say, and get the most effective gear to tackle commercial filmmaking. So if you already watched the previous video, the $200 and less budget tier, really the only thing we're changing here is the camera and the lens, since cell phones don't really have detachable lenses. Don't worry if you haven't watched that video though, we'll cover everything in more than enough detail in this video. So I always like to break any filmmaker's gear set into 4 major categories: video capture, lighting, audio, and stabilization. If you can cover these 4 bases, you can create some amazing content. So to start, you need a camera. For an entry-level DSLR, we love the Canon SL2, which you can find across the internet for around $450. I also want to quickly mention to always consider buying gear used, especially at the beginning of your career. You can absolutely save some serious cash and get gear that still works perfectly. So why this Canon SL2? Well, it covers a ton of features that we talked about in the previous video outlining what to look for when buying a camera. It shoots 1080p at 60 frames per second. It has great image quality, it has awesome color science, and it has great autofocus. The SL2 is an extremely well-rounded camera for a great price. Another great option is the Panasonic GH4. You can pick up a used GH4 for less than $500. The GH4 is loaded with powerful features. You can shoot 4K video, 1080p at almost 100 frames per second, but it has a micro four thirds sensor, so you have to keep that in mind as well. It's slightly older, but when it came out, it was an industry leader. Now you just get to buy it for a cheaper price tag. Those 2 cameras are great, and we'll outline a few more in the downloadable PDFs, which we also constantly update as time goes on, so you know you're getting the most current information. Another thing worth mentioning, within the PDFs, we have what are known as affiliate links, which you can click on to buy the products. When you use affiliate links, we get a little kickback from the sales, and it costs nothing extra to you. So if you want to help support us, always remember to go through those links. Next up, you're going to need a quality lens. Now, there is a ton of information surrounding lenses and what you should know. We're going to cover that detail in another video, but for the purpose of making suggestions in this video, here are a great few lenses. For Canon, the Kit 18 to 55mm lens is a great starter lens that offers a flexible range of focal lengths, which basically means you can zoom in and out on this lens so you aren't stuck to a single focal length. On the flip side of that, the Canon 50mm f1.8 lens is a great prime lens. When I say prime lens, that means it's a fixed focal length. It cannot zoom in or out. Rather, it's stuck at 50mm. This may sound bad, but the overall image quality of prime lenses increases like crazy because they tend to have very fast apertures. Basically, less moving parts and not being able to zoom means prime lenses can focus really hard on being unbelievably effective at one single focal length. 50mm is also really close to what our eyes naturally see, so it's a great lens for reproducing what we're used to seeing with our own eyes. Not only this, the lens is only $125, which is crazy cheap. For reference, I'm currently filming on a 50mm lens. Look at this image and study what it looks like. If this is the type of thing that you're trying to reproduce, the 50mm lens is a great option. Another great lens is the Canon 24mm f2.8. This is another prime lens, so the same concepts as the 50mm applies, except this is a lower focal length, capturing a wider image compared to the tighter 50mm lens. These lenses would also work for the Panasonic GH4, you just need to get an adapter. All 3 of the lenses I've outlined are great options, but I would suggest waiting until you watch the full training on lenses before making a decision. A lot of it comes down to personal preference, so that training will help you make an educated decision rather than just copying what I tell you. From there, now that we've covered the video capture side of things, we need to cover the lighting, audio, and stabilization. All of my recommendations from the $200 budget tier apply here as well. An inexpensive light like the Yongnuo YN300, which costs $68, will serve you perfectly. You could even get 2 if you wanted. For audio, the Rode SmartLav Plus, which costs $61 and plugs into your phone, will do just great. Just make sure you have the right adapter depending on your specific phone. Then finally, you can't go wrong with purchasing an inexpensive tripod like this one. Now let me summarize briefly what this entire setup could look like. The Canon SL2 used at around $450. Both the 50mm and the 24mm prime lenses coming in at $260 together. The Yongnuo YN300 at $68, the Rode SmartLav Plus at $61, and finally, any of these inexpensive tripods will do. Just make sure to read the reviews first. And all of that will still keep you under $1,000. So you'll have money left over to take your grandma out to dinner because you know she'll love that. Yay! Make sure to check out the PDFs below to learn more about all of our recommended camera bundles. And if you do decide to purchase anything, do us a favor and go through those lovely affiliate links. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.